I am slowly easing into week 10, if you can believe we are in week 10 already of the training plan. And I always have a hard time getting back into the groove after a long holiday weekend. But Labor Day weekend always reminds me of my very first half marathon, 2009 Disneyland half marathon. What a great time. But I feel I was a little unprepared for what to expect. I was fully trained, but there were things I wish I would have known before my first half marathon. The number one piece of advice I can give to you is while you are training, test your body and how much fuel you will need to make it through your race distance, whether it's a half marathon, full marathon, or the full-blown Dopey challenge. For my first half marathon in Disneyland, I didn't eat enough. And I don't know if it was because I was so excited, we were at Disney, it was my first half marathon, oh, whatever. But around mile 11, my stomach actually growled. So I knew I hadn't eaten enough. Thank Lord, I only had 2 more miles to go. This leads into my second tip. Fuel during your race. You know, your race registration fee pays for all the course support, so take advantage of it. One, make sure you drink the water and the Gatorade or whatever they have as far as some kind of electrolyte drink. But if they have GU gels or beans or something like that, be cautious because you don't want to do anything new or try anything new at race time. That's why I usually carry my own GU gels. I usually start taking them around mile 5 and then again, every 3 or 4 miles, depending on how I feel. But don't ever start anything new. You don't want to get an upset stomach. And at Disney, during the Dopey Challenge, when you go into Hollywood Studios, I do take advantage of the candy stop. That's not new. I've been eating candy for years. I love running in the morning before work so I can watch the sunrise. It's beautiful and it's not 90 degrees. As you do enough races, either rock and roll or Disney, you will collect a lot of Mylar capes. But for your first race, you may not even think about that, and you'll see people wandering around with these silver wraps. They are awesome. You need to have at least one for your first race, especially if you're going to be somewhere where it's cold, because they really do keep the heat in. And if it's raining, it'll keep you dry. Major tip, make sure to remove your Mylar cape and throw it either off to the side or in a garbage can before you cross the start line, because it will mess with your timing chip. Bag check, yay or nay? Well, I've only done it once and I didn't like it. You know, if you have a lot of time after the race and you're like standing in line, oh wait, that's kind of like Disney, then you might like bag check. But everything I take to a race, I wear or carry, so I don't have very much. But if you need to have your own water or gels or whatever after a race, then sure, bag check is great for you. I just don't personally like leaving my things with people I don't know, even though I'm sure they're very secure. Personal opinion. But it does take a long time after a race to retrieve your items. I just want my medal, I want my bagel, and I want to go home and take a shower. don't take off too fast at the start of the race. I am notorious for this. As soon as a gun goes off, I am out like Secretariat at the Kentucky Derby. And I do that because I fear I'm going to slow down in the middle or the end of the race. But all I have done for myself is create an environment where I will be tired by mile 7. And that happens. You need to pace yourself. Whatever pace you want to do for the entire race, start that way. If you are run walking, run walk from the very beginning. This will ensure that you will still have energy at the end of your race. Finish strong. Our final run of the week on Saturday is 11 miles, the longest so far. What do you think? Think we're gonna do okay? I think we'll do okay. During that run, I will go through the rest of my things I wish I would have known before my first half marathon. Heading out for my final run of the week. It is a beautiful Saturday morning. The weather is about 54 degrees, overcast. It rained last night, so it's a little humid, but not too bad. I'm going to leave the camera home for the first half of the run because I want to start working on getting my speed increased a little bit. But then I'm going to stop back home halfway point and pick up the camera and then go over my last thoughts on things that I wish I would have known before my first half marathon. Let's head out, get this started. I just did a stop at the house. I am 8 miles into my 11-mile run, so 3 to go. So I want to wrap up things that I think you should know before your first half marathon. One of the things that I never knew about until I went to the New York City Marathon, and that was throwaway clothes. Depending on where your first marathon is, and Dopey, it's been iffy. The first 2 years I did it, it was freezing. Last year, I understand, it was really warm. But to be on the safe side, you want to be prepared. So go to your local thrift store, pick up some sweatpants, sweatshirts, and several pair of those knit mittens to keep your fingers warm. And then when you start the race, you can throw them off to the side as you warm up. Something that I've started doing after my son continually gets lost on the course because he's very fast and in the front, I always, and I highly suggest you do this too, check out the course maps before race day. This way you will know where the potty stops are. I'm constantly wondering when I can use the potty next. It'll show you where the aid stations are and any hills or where the turnarounds are. When you stop at those aid stations, it can get a little messy. So you may want to practice drinking while you are running. You know, when you pick up that water or Gatorade, it's pretty full, dump out a little bit. Then you want to pinch the cup to make a little spout and then drink it. And don't guzzle it. That's going to give you a tummy ache. Or alternatively, you could just walk through the aid stations and drink calmly. We just hit the 9-mile mark. We have 2 miles to go. Let us wrap it up. And lastly, don't skimp on post-race recovery. Again, your race registration pays for those refreshments. Pick up that box, pick up that bagel and banana and sports drink and water. They are there to help your body recover. Please, 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 please. Don't just go to your room and lay down, take a nap. You need to continue to walk. Go to the parks. This is your cool down walk. You want to keep your legs moving so that you don't end up all cramped up and crippled for the next 2 weeks. What you should do, go back to your room, do some stretches, do some foam rolling, but do get out and continue to walk. This way, your body will be more flexible and will recover a whole lot quicker, and you will not be in pain. A couple extra tips. I like to split up my race distances, whether it's a half or a full. If you're looking ahead at 13.1 miles, or God forbid, 26.2, that seems very daunting. But if you split it up at 5-mile increments, it's still 26.2 miles, but it helps. It really does. Running is a mental game. And also, if you are training for Dopey with me, remember, there's some etiquette rules. Don't walk all in a straight line across the course. That's inconsiderate to the people behind you who may want to pass. Also, if you do need to take walk breaks, I will be doing the Galloway plan during all 4 of the races. Make sure to raise your hand before you stop to let everyone around you know that you're going to be stopping, and stay on the right-hand side of the course. That's where us walkers will be. And remember, be patient. Walt Disney World Marathon is huge. 60,000 runners plus all the spectators. That's a lot of people. So be patient, be kind, and remember, this is your race and their race. Everyone should have fun. Enjoy your time at Disney. Let's wrap up this run. We've got about 0.2 miles to go. Let's finish up. Cool fall football weather has finally arrived, and so has the completion of week 10. This has been a tough week, everybody. We have increased our mileage to the highest point so far. My long run yesterday was 11 miles, and then I immediately had a migraine headache afterwards. So this has been a tough one, and I thought it was just me, but it's not. I want you to go look at a vlogger that I am following. It is Running in Makeup. She also had a really rough week 10. So I feel like I am in very good company. Take it easy, everybody. Training for 48.6 miles is not easy. If it was, everyone would be doing it, right? So be good to yourself. Be patient with yourself. You're going to have those rough weeks. Week 10 was definitely my rough week. I'm getting rained on, so that makes it even rougher. But to wrap it up before we get too wet, I did a total of 20 miles this week, and it was a struggle. Next week, we're going to talk about motivation. I think that is appropriate since I just came off a really rough week. So good luck in your training, everybody. Don't give up, and I will see you in January for the Dopey Challenge. We will complete 48.6 miles and smile as we cross the finish line. Good luck, everyone. I'll see you next week.